guys, welcome back to Kefri TV, here for your West Brom Albion preview. Game taking place, of course, on Sunday, early Sunday afternoon. As you can probably tell by the title of this video, all the talk is going to be on one player, and that is Pedro. Brand new signing from Barcelona. I think about £20 million. I think we're paying about 90 million up front. For me, absolutely unbelievable piece of business. He wasn't my first choice going into this transfer window. I personally prefer someone like Griezmann, or some of the other players mentioned, but for a good price, experience, he's won everything there is to win pretty much at Barcelona. And people can say, oh, he wasn't a starter, he's a Barca reject and stuff. Well, look what was in front of him, three of the best players in the world. So absolutely delighted by this, and I think he should start. I think stick him there again. Stick him out on the right wing. Stick him out on the wing against West Brom. Don't hold back. Just let him go, and I'm pretty sure we'll see the benefits. I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he's a player which will make an instant impact. And with him and Hazard potentially on the wings, we're going to be having it's going to be fantastic. I'm absolutely over the moon. Of course, moving on to the game though, West Brom are a good team, and they've got a fantastic record against us at the Hawthorns. We haven't won there since Carlo Ancelotti was our manager, I believe, in 2011. So I'm not filled with overwhelming amount of confidence, especially considering obviously our shocking starts to the season, including that game at City last week where we looked terrible. Having said that, I do think we can get the win. I think our players are going to have a shock to their system. I think the signing of Pedro is going to be a big boost. There's also talk that we're in for Pogba as well. I don't personally believe these rumours. I believe it's about we're offering 50 million in Cuadrado, which I think would be a superb piece of business if we can pull that off. However, I personally don't see it happening at all. But there's energy about the club. There's movement in the transfer market. It should have a positive effect on the players who might want to fight for their place, and that's why I'm expecting a much better performance at West Brom. Going into my starting lineup, I think Courtois is back from suspension. Let me know in the comments, because I have absolutely no clue. But either way, Begovic looked brilliant against City anyway. It was one of the few shining lights in that defeat. And then I'm going to keep Ivanovic right back. Now, I know a lot of people won't be happy with that because he was very poor against Swansea, poor against City, and obviously with the signing of Baba Rahman for 21 million. I've never actually seen this kid play. I don't know about you, but I'm hearing everyone seems to know so much about this kid. Everyone I hear talking about him saying, oh, he's a fantastic talent, does this, does that, but I had never heard of him before this transfer window. I don't know if that's just a lack of knowledge from me or everyone else is bullshitting, but that's as far as I'm going. But I don't think for a young 21-year-old to throw him into a game like West Brom, where they have got a good record against us, where we are struggling for form, I don't think it's a great idea. I'll play him at the home game against Palace a week later, because it's a lot easier to come on as a home debut. So I would keep Ivanovic at right back. At centre half, I will have John Terry. I'll have John Terry and Kurt Zouma. I think taking Terry off last week was a mistake. I think we should take Gary Cahill off. I think Cahill clearly seems to struggle against quick players, and they've of course got Berahino up front, Rondon as well. So I think Zouma is important that he plays. Dave obviously at left back. Centre midfield, Matic and Fabregas. Fabregas had a shocker against City. He has to improve on that. But West Brom obviously got sent off there last year, but that was a bit of a nothing game. It is a game he's got so much class about him. He should just be able to dictate this game. I mean, their midfield I think involves like Darren Fletcher and people. Midfield is not West Brom's strongest point, and I think Fabregas can come back into form and play well. As I said, I think that it'll be Pedro on the right, Hazard on the left, and Willian in the middle. However, I personally would go for Pedro on the left, Willian on the right, and have Hazard in the middle. Hazard is sort of a free role, number 10 sort of thing. It's sort of like how Mata used to play for us. He just could go anywhere, do his own thing. He'd have a much bigger influence on the game. And if you think about Messi, when he was younger, well, he sort of became the absolute great player he is now by moving more central. Now, I'm not saying by just moving Hazard central where he's suddenly going to score 40 odd goals a season, but I think it's worth a shot. I think if we had Hazard and Oscar as our two sort of number 10s, we keep Williams' work rate. We've got the bit of class from Pedro and the goal threat as well, which is important out wide. And up front, I'm going to keep faith with Diego Costa because Remy, judging by pre-season, just looks really poor and out of it. Falcao, again, in his brief appearances, looks like he's proving me wrong, and he isn't going to come back to form as I hoped and thought he would. So all that's left is Costa, and you know, Costa of course did score against West Brom at Stamford Bridge last year, so maybe a bit of a good omen there. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up my preview. Score prediction: I'm gonna say a 2-1 Chelsea win. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be pretty, but I think it's going to be done. You know, I think we can do it. If you're going to the Hawthorns on Sunday, enjoy it. I couldn't get a ticket. I can never get tickets for some reason. The waiting room has something against me. I swear to God. Also, if you like me and received your GCSE results today, hope they went well. Mine were all right. Some got better in some subjects than others. But yeah, overall, pretty pleased. So yeah, thanks for watching. Keep the blue flag flying. I'll see you for a review of this game after it happens on Sunday. Come on, you Chelsea.